There's a breakable option. The breakable is after an object has died, it goes into a breakable state. So if you want it to, once it dies, fall into a bunch of pieces, fragments, then you can say you want to enable a break. The break is going to be a dynamic break, meaning that it's just going to take the geometry and cut a pattern of triangles and pieces out of it. So you can say how many fragments. Remember, this can be costly on depending on which kind of machine you're using. So a value of 10 is a good thing to use, maybe even a little less if you're going to have a lot of breaks happening. Enabling the fragments to break also gives you an opportunity to say whether or not you want colliders. Colliders means that when it breaks, it will stay on top of whatever surface you have. If you have gravity enabled, they'll also fall to the surface. If you were playing a game that was an ortho style, then you may not want gravity. You just may want it to kind of break and stay where it is. There's the weight side of it, for how much does it weigh in terms of how fast is it going to fall. The fragment fade out type, you have whether or not it's going to be none, meaning it actually just breaks and stays on screen. You can fade out, it'll just simply fade out to 0, and once it gets there, those pieces disappear. You can have the scale down, which is just saying that it's going to take the whatever size they break, and it's going to scale down to 0 and disappear at that point. The fragment, the deactivate type, is that once you have a piece broken, you have a piece of geometry that's broken in the scene, you can deactivate it never. So for instance, if I choose fade out type none and say never, what I want to do is keep those pieces on screen constantly so that they don't ever actually go away. You can say that they'll clear up once you move a player outside the camera, and when you come back it'll be gone. And then there's also a timer for it. You can just say that it times out after a few seconds and then they disappear. All right. The breakable piece is going to be, what does it look, what is the image that gets displayed and then broken into pieces. So you might have, when it breaks, you may want this to turn into a dark and rusty piece or burned piece. Then you can apply the animation piece to that, and that's what gets broken into pieces. And then the explosion audio clip, if you want a specific sound for the break, then you can have it. If it's glass and it's shattering, you can have that for it. Alright, so that's going to be basic setup for all of the break and all the fracture pieces that coincide with it.